Ukraine, often referred to as the breadbasket of Europe, holds a pivotal position in Eastern European history. Its fertile lands and strategic location have made it a crossroads of civilizations for centuries. The roots of Ukrainian identity can be traced back to the medieval kingdom of Kievan Rus, a powerful East Slavic state that emerged in the 9th century. This early state laid the foundation for the rich cultural and historical tapestry that defines Ukraine today. Over the centuries, Ukraine has been a battleground for empires and a melting pot of cultures. From the Mongol invasions in the 13th century to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and later the Austro-Hungarian and Russian empires, each era left its mark on the land and its people. The resilience of the Ukrainian spirit has been tested time and again, yet it has always endured. In the modern era, Ukraine's struggle for independence and sovereignty has been a defining feature of its national identity. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked a new chapter for Ukraine as it declared independence and embarked on a journey towards democracy and self-determination. However, this path has not been without challenges. The ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine and the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 have brought international attention to the region, highlighting the geopolitical significance of Ukraine. Despite these challenges, the spirit of Ukraine remains unbroken. The vibrant culture, rich traditions, and unwavering determination of its people continue to shape the nation's future. From the bustling streets of Kyiv to the serene countryside, Ukraine's story is one of resilience, hope, and an unyielding quest for freedom and peace. Kievan Rus has flourished as a center of trade and culture, connecting Scandinavia to Byzantium. It adopted Orthodox Christianity from the Byzantine Empire, shaping its religious and cultural landscape. However, the Mongol invasions of the 13th century shattered Kievan Rus, leading to its fragmentation. Ukrainian lands came under the control of various powers over the following centuries. Lithuania and Poland gradually gained control over parts of Ukraine. The Cossacks, a warrior community known for their fierce independence, emerged as a powerful force in Ukrainian society. The Cossacks resisted Polish rule, seeking autonomy and self-determination. The 17th century witnessed the emergence of the Russian Empire as a major power in Eastern Europe. The Treaty of Pereyaslav in 1654 brought parts of Ukraine under Russian control. The Russian Empire expanded further in the 18th century, annexing the Crimean Khanate. The annexation of Crimea marked a significant turning point in Russian-Ukrainian relations. Under Russian rule, Ukrainian culture and language faced suppression. The Russian Empire implemented policies aimed at assimilating the Ukrainian population. The 19th century saw the rise of Ukrainian national consciousness in response to these policies. Ukrainian intellectuals and writers began to rediscover their cultural heritage, promoting the use of the Ukrainian language. The Russian Revolution of 1917 brought about the collapse of the Tsarist regime. Ukraine declared its independence in the aftermath of the revolution. This policy resulted in widespread resistance and resentment among the peasantry. The forced collectivization campaign of the early 1930s led to a catastrophic famine known as the Holodomor, meaning to kill by starvation. Millions of Ukrainians perished from starvation as a result of the Soviet government's policies. The Holodomor remains a deeply traumatic event in Ukrainian history. The Soviet regime's aggressive push for collectivization was met with fierce opposition from the Ukrainian peasantry, who were deeply attached to their land and traditional way of life. The government's policy aimed to consolidate individual land holdings and labor into collective farms, stripping peasants of their private property and autonomy. This drastic change disrupted agricultural productivity and led to widespread chaos in rural areas. As the state seized grain and other foodstuffs to meet unrealistic quotas, the countryside was plunged into a severe food shortage. The Soviet authorities exacerbated the crisis by requisitioning grain for export, leaving Ukrainian villages with nothing to eat. The famine was not merely a consequence of poor planning or natural disaster, it was a deliberate act of repression. The regime used food as a weapon to break the spirit of the Ukrainian people and crush any potential resistance to Soviet rule. The impact of the Holodomor was devastating. Entire villages were decimated and the social fabric of Ukrainian society was torn apart. Families were forced to make unimaginable choices to survive, and the trauma of those years left deep scars that are still felt today. The memory of the Holodomor is a powerful reminder of the dangers of totalitarianism and the human cost of political oppression. In recent years, there has been a renewed effort to recognize the Holodomor as a genocide, a deliberate attempt by the Soviet government to eradicate the Ukrainian nation. This recognition is crucial for honoring the memory of the millions who suffered and perished, and for ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated. During World War II, Ukraine became a battleground between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. The Nazi occupation was brutal, resulting in widespread destruction and loss of life. Ukrainians joined both sides of the conflict, with some collaborating with the Nazis, while others joined the Soviet Red Army to fight against the occupiers.